mayday, we got a mayday, we got a mayday.
I just see this huge explosion. I got out of my car, pure adrenaline, and started running. Most people look at a fire and run away from a fire. With the training I've had, we run into fire. I joined the United States Navy in 1989. I was 18 years old, and I was just looking forward to something different. I've always been very into taking care of people, especially seniors. I grew up with my grandparents around quite a bit. So initially I thought I wanted to become a physical therapist, and being a hospital corpsman was one of those avenues that would maybe achieve that goal for me. I went into hospital corpsman training. My first assignment was at Lemoore Air Naval Station in the San Joaquin Valley, and I was assigned to air ops. We train in the event of a pilot coming in either short to the runway or landing gear not functioning correctly and crashing on the runway.
We're going down. We're going down. We're going down.
And then the Persian Gulf War started.
As I report to you, air attacks are underway against military targets in Iraq.
I was selected to work in the ICU on the hospital ship Mercy. We were receiving patients from field hospitals. One of our very first cases was an Army sergeant, and he got hit by a landed air missile. We were all surprised that he was even still alive, but he walked off the ship like 3 months later. I found a new love, a love for emergency medicine, and it gave me the ability to serve people more and in a way that was true caretaking of an individual in a crisis or in a true need on the emergency side. I did 7 years with the Navy. I loved what I did, and I was able to bridge it over and cross over and become a firefighter for the City of Avalon Fire Department on Catalina Island. As a fire captain, I oversee a crew of firefighters. We go on all the medical calls, fire calls. We have boat fires. We also do search and rescue. I guess I would never have expected being off duty to ever respond to what happened that day. So this is the freeway I was on, the 405 going southbound. My first glimpse, I see over here on my left-hand side on the east, this plane flying fairly low. My second glimpse is right here, and now I see the plane even lower below the interchange. And the plane literally is coming down right here between the sign of the 405 northbound and the street light on my left-hand side, on the east side of the freeway here. And this is, boom, this is where I get hit. I'm looking in my rearview mirror seeing this ball of fire on the side of the freeway after he's hit the center median. I use some choice language, come to a stop after pulling over several lanes, and I back up towards the crash. And then I'm looking at the plane once I step out. It's hit the wall 2 or 3 times, but the plane's still on fire. And then I see a head pop up. And in that moment, I was like, oh, there's somebody alive.
I had my eyes closed and was praying until I heard Frank say, "Brace yourself." And that's when we went down. The first thing I remember is Frank yelling, "You have to get out of the plane, open the door, get out, it's going to blow," because the only door in that plane is on my side. I was able to get out, and I turned around because I didn't think Frank was behind me. And I said, come on, we have to go. And he said,
I can't, I'm trapped, but just go. And she said, I'm not leaving without you. And that's when John pulled her out.
She was in a process of, my husband, you gotta get my husband. So I assured her that I would come back and get the husband out of the plane. But first, I got her off to safety.
My feet were wedged between the seat and the control panel. And John, he says, I'm not leaving without you. And he freed my leg, and he said, can you move? I said, I can't feel anything. He said, lift up your arms. And I went like this. He put his hands under mine and he says, here we go. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground and my shoes are off and he's tapping the bottom of my feet and I kind of came to. He said, can you feel that? And I said, yes. And he said, wiggle your toes. And I went like that. And he says, this is good. And that's the last thing I remember for 6 days.
Being on the medical side, we usually do not hear about how people are doing. In this instance, their good friend reached out and I told him, hey, I'd love to come in and see the Pisanos if I'm able to.
Look at this, going on his own. All right, say hi.
we were both in back braces for 4 months. And John was here all the time. He would pop in all the time, just sit in the backyard with us and chat. In the hospital, he popped in constantly just to check and see how you were doing. And we went through something so difficult and so dangerous and came so close to death, and nobody else was injured, which is just miraculous. Now when I look back, I smile and think, okay, if we made it through that, whatever life throws at us, we'll probably be all right.
One of the things that really sticks with me is how she did not want to leave her husband's side. Even once I got there, I get emotional almost every time I think about the event. She would be willing to perish together instead of being separate. And then just by chance, be in the right place at the right time, I just happened to be able to help them out.
The fact that John ran into a burning plane, which to this day I still question his sanity to do something so stupid like that. But the guy's a hero, in our eyes at least.
I don't do my job for accolades. I do it simply because I love taking care of people. Being in the military for 7 years as a hospital corpsman gave me the foundation of who I am today. So if someone's injured or hurt, I'm one to run to help than run away. So I think service to me is really what drives me.